Hello, my name's Shell and this is week 13 of my Weight Watchers journey. I started the first week in January and I'm following the green plan. I do still call it Weight Watchers. I know it's called WW now and I'm not even sure what that's supposed to stand for anymore, but I'll always call it Weight Watchers. I think everybody knows what you mean then. And I've had a great week this week on the green plan again. I really enjoy this plan. I'm finding that it's easy to stick to, and I'm also finding that it's teaching me the correct amount of food to eat, so I'm very happy with that because it's not only telling me how much to cut down by, but it's also, I've found that I can eat more food than I realised and still lose weight. I think before when I've been trying to lose weight I've been cutting down too much and it's not been sustainable, and I found with Weight Watchers I can actually eat more food than I realised. So that's always a good thing. A couple of weeks ago in the comments somebody asked me if I could say what I ate for the week, and I did say that I would do it on this video. I'm so sorry I can't do one of those videos where I'm in the kitchen cooking and showing you all the meals, and but I just can't do that because I can't do the videos myself. I can't edit and it's not fair to ask Andy to do all that, so I'm really sorry about that, but I'm going to read out anyway. I've got my, as you can see, I've got my MP3 player here, and I'm going to go through now what I ate for a full week. So I'm starting on Monday the 22nd. In the morning I don't eat any breakfast. I never ate breakfast before I started dieting, and the whole time that I've been on a diet I've been in a quandary trying to find something that would suit for breakfast, and I never managed it. And I also find that if I start eating at breakfast, because I'm not really hungry and I'm not really satisfied when I finished eating it, that it just makes me eat for the rest of the day. So I always have a black coffee in the morning and then I wait until I get hungry and then see what I want to eat then, and that's worked brilliant for me. I do drink 1.5 pints of black coffee for breakfast. No, that sounds bad. But I drink very, very weak coffee, and what I put in the black coffee, it's a pod that you get, that you open a little pod each time, and the pod's supposed to do 1 cup, but I make that into 1.5 pints because I don't like strong coffee, and I do like to have a big drink in the morning. So round about 10 o'clock I have a hot chocolate. I really look forward to this. I love hot chocolate. I'm a bit addicted to it, I think, and I work the points out for the hot chocolate for the whole day. So I have soya milk light, and throughout the day I have 300 mils of that, which is 2 pints. I have 100 mils at breakfast, breakfast say 10 o'clock. I have 100 mils after tea and 100 mils before bed. 3 hot chocolates each day, and I find that spacing these out through the day just perfect. Cocoa, I have 9 grams of cocoa a day. I don't weigh it out each time, but I've got a spoon that I know holds 3 grams. So I have 3 grams in the morning, 3 grams in the afternoon, 3 grams before bed, 9 grams, and actually you can have 12 grams of cocoa for 1 pint. So the hot chocolates I have every day, which I'll just say hot chocolates from now on, are 3 pints. That's what I spend on them each day. I'm not very keen on fruit, so I try to have one thing every day, and I usually have this in the morning with the hot chocolate. So on Monday I had an apple. I wouldn't choose to eat the fruit really, I'd rather just skip it altogether, but I understand that it's good for you, so I do try and have some sort of fruit most days. So I had an apple on Monday. For dinner I had a wholemeal bun, which was 5 pints. I had a tablespoon of mustard for 1 pint, and I had salad on that as well, and also Quorn ham slices, which are free if you just have 2. And that's quite a substantial dinner, and it is actually my favourite dinner, and that's what I have most days. For tea, I had 150 grams of pasta, cooked pasta, wholemeal, that was 5 pints. That's quite a good portion of pasta. I had half a block of Tay Fun basil tofu. To me that is the nicest toffee you can buy. You can only get it in Ocado. I've never seen it anywhere else. Tay Fun, they do basil and they do one which is sesame seed. Was it smoked tofu with sesame seeds, and that's just as nice. So that is 5, is it, yeah, 5 points for half the pack. A load of veggies stir fried, and I did have some sweet corn in that, which was for 2 points in with the veggies, and part of the sauce was made up with 1 tablespoon of sriracha, which is hot sauce, and that's 1 point. And what we do is we have the pasta in the, cooked pasta in the bowl, then the tofu, we slice it, comes in a slab, we slice it up and we put it in the waffle maker and close the waffle maker on it, and it makes it go all crispy and bumpy, and it's lovely. Then we put the spicy veggies over the top. So that's what we had. And we also had on the side, I had 100 grams of bread on the side, which was 6 points. And for a snack later on, I had 2 of the buttermilk peanut crunch, I don't know what you call them really, they're not drops, they're bigger than that, they're, like a chocolate, and they're 4 points for 2, so I had that for my snack later on. So that's 32 points. I've used up 2 of my weekly points extra, because I have 30 a day, so I've used 2 of my weeklies on that day. I did an hour on the treadmill, quite a vigorous hour, so that would have earned me 6 what we call fit points, which you can eat, but I don't. But they are there if you do want to eat them. So I had 26 weeklies left after using 2 that day. On Tuesday, 23rd, I had grapes in the morning, and I had the 3 hot chocolates. So 3 hot chocolates were 3 points. And I had my usual roll, mustard, corn pieces and salad for dinner. So that was another 6 points. I had, for tea, we had 150 grams cooked weight of McCain oven chips, which is a good portion, and that was 6 points. And we had a Marks and Spencer's Kiev. Oh, these are so good, 10 points they are, but they are such a big, buttery, garlicky, and the breadcrumbs on the outside are all crunchy. They are as luxurious a Kiev in the plant world as you could wish to have. Don't taste diety at all, they're absolutely gorgeous. So I had that for 10 points. I had mushy peas for 3 points, and ketchup for 2 points, 2 tablespoons ketchup for 2 points. I've said I had the hot chocolates for 3, and that's 30 points for a day. I mustn't have had any snacks later on for that. And I did an hour on the treadmill, which earned 6 fit points. So I've still got 26 weeklies left at this point. Wednesday, I had a ham bun for 6 points again, corn ham bun with mustard on for 6 points, and an apple, which is 0 points. For tea, I had half a pack of cauldron marinated pieces for 5 points, and I made that with veggies and the Mayflower curry sauce for 3 points. So it was a Mayflower curry with tofu in, and 150 grams of basmati rice for 6 points, and the hot chocolates, of course, throughout the day for 3 points. And for snacks in the evening, I had puffed, the puffed hula hoops for 2 points, a packet of those for 2 points, and 1 of the buttermilk dairy-free peanut butter crunch things. I only had 1 of those, so that was only 2 points. I only did half an hour on the treadmill today, on this day, Wednesday, because I was having trouble with my back. I did have, when I was 16, I had an accident on the fairground and I fractured 2 vertebrae, and ever since then I've had a bad back. Not really, really bad, but it's it's an ongoing problem, and it flares up every now and again. So I thought that it was that. So I only used up on that day 27 points. Yes, 27 points. So that means I carried 3 points over to the next day, because you can carry up to 4 points over to the next day. So that was added onto my weeklies again. So I'm up to 29 weeklies. And because my back was so bad, I ordered this from the internet. It's called a back stretcher. It's about the size, I'd say, of, when you go out to a pub and they've got those big mats, like faux leather plastic mats. It's about that size, it's a bit longer. up each side, each long edge, it's got knobbles, like some of them are little round bumps and some of them are like little spikes almost sticking out all the way down each side. And up the middle is a strip of foam. So you lie on it on the floor, and it's bent like a banana. So you lie on it on the floor and you put the bent part in the middle of your back. And so up and down each side of your spine go all these knobbly bits, and the foam piece goes on your actual spine to stop it from being damaged. And you're supposed to lie on it, or you can put it on the back of your chair so you can sit with it behind you on the back of your chair like that. And it's supposed to correct your posture, and it's also supposed to stretch your back out. So I bought that, and I've been using that every day. I've been lying on it for about 10 minutes a day. You can alter it at the back as to how high you want the arch to be. So if you want it to be almost flat, you can lower it, and the more you twist this thing at the back, the more of an arch you get. So it depends. I started off on a lower one, but I've built up to quite a big arch now. I don't know if you can see the bend in that. So that's what I've been using, because I've been having, as I say, I've been having back problems. So that's why I only did half an hour on the treadmill, which only earned me 3 fit points. I'll put that over there because it's starting to fall down. So Thursday, we went for our jabs on Thursday. Now mine was quite painful, and I had a sore arm for a couple of days. Andy didn't feel anything at all and didn't have any reaction, and I was very tired for a couple of days as well. Throughout the day I still had my 3 hot chocolates and had an apple in the morning before we went. Then for dinner I had 2 crumpets, which is 8 points, with cheese. No, I didn't have cheese on that day. I had hummus on. 1.5 tablespoons of hummus for 3 points. Hummus on crumpets, lovely. Put the hummus on, put them back under the grill for a bit so they got a little bit crispy on the top. Oh, this is so nice. So for tea, 150 grams of pasta, a stir fry that I got out of the freezer. I'm not sure what was in it, but it did have sesame oil in, and I had put on the label in the freezer that it was worth 9 points for me, so that's what I had. And I also had the end of Andy's garlic bread. He had a whole baguette to himself, a whole lovely buttery garlicky baguette to himself, and I just had the very end piece. So I don't know what would that be. I called it 2 points, because at least it hasn't got garlic on each side. It's only got garlic on one side being the end piece, so 2 points. For the snack for supper, I had half a bar of Nomo caramel and sea salt, which is 5 points. Very nice they are. So that's 35 points for the day. I didn't go on the treadmill because I wasn't really feeling like it, so no fit points. So I've got 24 weeklies left. Friday, I had 2 easy peelers in the morning, and obviously the 3 hot chocolates throughout the day for 3 points. Right. Oh yeah, the hot chocolate, sorry. Yeah, the ham bun, again, 6 points, which is 5 for the bun, 1 for the mustard, and none for the ham and the salad. I made the cauliflower cheese. I said on my video last week I was going to make cauliflower cheese for tea, which I did. Now the sauce on the cauliflower cheese was 13 points. 3 for milk that I made it with. Cheese, I had 6 points of cheese on it, which I grated on the top and put in the oven to make it all crispy. I had mustard 1 and maple syrup 1, which is what I put in it as well, and also 25 grams of nutritional yeast, which was 2 points. I put all that in the blender apart from the cheese, whizzed it up, put it on the cauliflower, into the oven with the cheese on top. Oh, it was lovely. And I made 250 grams of Slimming World chips, which would have been 10 points, but I didn't eat them because there was so much. I've made it like most of a cauliflower. So there was so much cauliflower cheese and I was enjoying them so much, I thought, no, I'm just going to leave the chips and I'll have them tomorrow. And I had, must have been about 120 grams of bread, because it's a 7 points here of bread on the side. I had half a Nomo caramel bar for 5 points for a snack, so that's 34 points that I used that day. And then when I went to bed on Friday night, oh, I was such a sad sack, I really was. I hadn't gone on the treadmill again today. My hips were so sore and my back. I got into bed at night and I just couldn't sleep. I was in that much pain from my arm. I couldn't lie on one side because of when we had the jab. My arm was so sore. My hips were killing me. They were really aching. I had to get up and take paracetamol before I could go back to bed. So Saturday morning I got up and I thought there's something not right here. So I went to Google and I put in treadmill hip pain. And of course I found out I'd been making an amateur's error on the treadmill. And I thought I was doing really well because I'd been striding out on the treadmill. I thought, I'm going to make this a really good exercise. I don't want to run on it, I'm going to walk. And I thought, I'm going to really stretch my legs out as far as I can, and I was bounding along, thinking I was doing good. But if you put in hip pain and treadmill on Google, the whole page is full of it's caused by stretching out your legs too far. So apparently on a treadmill you're supposed to do more just normal steps and lots of them rather than striding out. But I didn't realise that. And so it said the only thing to do was to rest for a couple of days because you've overstretched I forget what they call them now, some tendons in your hip, you've overstretched them. So that meant I couldn't go on the treadmill again till Tuesday. But I know now. I didn't realise that. I thought it was doing so good by taking long strides, but no. So I've been back on the treadmill again now since Wednesday, but taking lots of small steps, and everything's fine now, absolutely fine. But you live and learn, don't you? If you don't know these things, you don't know. I do know now, so lots of small steps. So anyway, that was Friday. So I'm down now to 20 weeklies. Saturday, I had a tin of Heinz lentil soup for dinner, which is 5 points for the whole tin. And I had half a bag of Quorn pieces in it. I was quite hungry Saturday, so I chopped up the Quorn pieces to little chunks, stirred them into the soup to make it a lot more filling, and that's what I had for dinner. It's lovely, lovely dinner. I had the chips left over from last night for tea for 10 points. I had a Naked Glory burger for 5 points, garden peas 100 grams for 1 point, and ketchup for 2 points. The hot chocolates throughout the day for 3 points. And then around about 9 o'clock we had the Morrison's apple crumble that I treated us to. They were very small. I showed it on the video last week. It was about the size of a pot of hummus. The only instructions were to put in the microwave, so I did. And they weren't all that nice. I mean, it was very small. When you opened the tub, it was only half full. And it was more of an apple mush. There wasn't a crumble. It was more like an oaty mush. But the worst thing about it was that it tasted like it had been made out of the core of the apples. It had all those papery bits in that you get in, all the hard bits that you get in the core of an apple. So whether they'd made it out of the scraps or what, I don't know. But it was 13 points, so I was quite disappointed with that. But I ate it anyway. It was a little treat, but there's no way would I spend 13 points on it again. And then for supper, I had half a Nomo caramel bar. As you can tell, I really like these. They're quite big and chunky, and that was 5 points. So the whole day I had 46 points, so that used up 16 of my weekly points, but most of that, as I say, went on the disappointing apple crumble. So I've got 4 weeklies left now. We're going into Sunday. So Sunday the 29th. We had hot cross bun for 6 points. I'm really into the hot cross buns at the minute, but now it's tea cakes. Marks and Spencer's do vegan hot cross buns, but I've not been able to see them anywhere else, so we've just been having tea cakes. So that was for 6 points. We had it toasted. It was lovely. 150 grams of pasta we had for 5 points. Half a jar of Lloyd Grossman's tomato and garlic sauce we had, which is 6 points. I like the Lloyd Grossman sauces. I buy them when they're on offer because they're quite expensive. So when they're on offer, I buy them. I like them because they've got no funny ingredients in. They're just, all the ingredients are, like tomatoes, garlic, onions, whatever. There's no E numbers and nothing that you don't know what it is. So we had, and with that we had the Birdseye Swedish balls. I had half a pack, which is 7 balls. It's quite substantial. And they were 7 points. So it's basically pasta, balls and tomato sauce. It was lovely. Hot chocolates throughout the day, 3. A packet of puffed hula hoops, 2 in the evening. And oh, Booja Booja. We got 2 boxes of Booja Booja chocolates for Christmas. And we've actually got 2 left, so I think we've done well to stretch them out. I think you get 16 chocolates in each box. So we've got 2 left now, so I think we've done well to stretch them out. So I had, I'm not sure which one I had then. I think it might have been an espresso coffee one. Oh, they're so lovely. They don't have chocolate on the outside, which I like. They have like a dusting of cocoa powder, so they're sweet and bitter all at the same time. So I had one of those for 3, which is 32 points, and it left me with 2 weeklies on Sunday night, ready to start Monday morning with a whole new set of points. So I hope if you were interested in that, you found it interesting. But that's what I ate for the week anyway. As you can see, I always have my treats at night, and that's because I do have difficulty with chocolate and things once I start eating and wanting to continue. So I don't tend to have crisps and chocolate and that kind of thing in the day. As you see, I don't eat between meals anyway. I try to just eat my fruit snack in the morning, dinner, tea and a snack at night before bed. And I find I can control the chocolate and things then. If I have them, I usually have them about half an hour before bed and enjoy them. And then by the time I'm in bed, I'm up in the morning, you've reset again. You don't want to carry on eating chocolate because I do find it very Moorish. So I think I've talked enough now, my mouth's going dry. It's probably the longest video I've ever done. Right, so I'm going to get on the scales now. Last week I weighed 11 stone 5.5 pounds, which meant I'd lost 2 stone 3.5 pounds. My goal at the minute is to get to 11 stone 3, and when I get to that I'll no longer be in the obese BMI category, just overweight. So here's hoping for a loss.
Hello.
Wake the scales up.
It's ready.
Okay. £11.3.4 pounds. So that's a £2 loss this week. Not quite making my goal for the BMI, but I'm sure I'll get there next week. So I'm very happy with a £2 loss. I do feel an awful lot better this week. We tried to go out, well, we did go out on Wednesday. It was a gorgeous day, it was so hot. I thought, right, surely some nice clothes will fit me, so I dove into the wardrobe and I got out things that I thought might fit, but you know, nothing would. Well, I could get them on, but I tried to get my next down pair of jeans on. But I was, in one way I was pleased because I could get them on, but I had this huge muffin top sticking out over the top all the way around. And then I wanted to put a nice light coloured summery top on, but when I tried to get my bras on, I only managed to keep it on for half an hour and it was so tight I felt it was like going to cut the bottom half of my body off, so had to go back into the sports bra, which is black. And I thought, well, I can't wear that under a light coloured top, so I had to get a dark top out and I had to get something baggy out then to try and cover it on. And when I went into the wardrobe, I was so looking forward to finding things that would fit and be all nice, and I was a bit disappointed, to be honest. But as I said to Andy, imagine though if I hadn't lost the 2.5 stone, imagine how bad I would have felt going out then. So in some ways it was good, but I'm not quite where I can wear, you know, the nice things that I'd like to. But you know, it's a couple of months till the summer, so by that time hopefully perhaps it'll be a bit better. But that's the way it goes, isn't it? And I was pleased that I could, because you know, going back at January I wouldn't have been able to get some of those things on, let alone get them on, and they'd be too tight. So it's progress, definitely progress. So I'm going to say goodbye now. I bet half of you have gone by now anyway. I can say goodbye. Let me know how you're getting on. Have you got Easter eggs? I've got Easter eggs. Oh look, I got 6 Easter eggs. Here we go. They're all about the size of the end of your thumb. But there are 6 Easter eggs. I'll share them with Andy, so 3 of those Easter eggs will be for me. I'm looking forward to those. I don't know how many points is in them. Looking at them, I'd say probably 2 per egg. They're quite small. They're only about the size of Maltesers. But anyway, they're my Easter eggs. Have you got Easter eggs? Anybody else got Easter eggs? Let me know. I'd love to know if you've got Easter eggs. I'd rather have hot cross buns. I've got 2 bags of hot cross buns to get through, so I'm looking forward to those. Have a happy Easter. Have a lovely weekend. Oh, they're saying it's going to snow again by Sunday, so... but it's been lovely, hasn't it, having a bit of nice weather. It gives you a feel for how the summer's going to be. So take care anyway. Let me know how you've got on. Have you lost weight? Are you struggling? How are you doing anything nice for Easter? I'll speak to you next week. Bye!